Welcome, welcome, welcome to That's Entertainment with No, Not Them. That's right. No, not the guys you're thinking of. We're like the great value brand of celebrity hosts, but still cheaper than cable. Today, we have a wild lineup. First off, Taylor Swift's 12th studio album. That's right, 12. At this point, her discography is starting to look more like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Then, because this show thrives on things that should not go together, we dive into our newest one only off segment. Mike has friends in low, seedy places. The Garth Brooks conspiracy nobody, including me, asked for. And then we speak of things we legally cannot stop talking about. It wouldn't be an episode without the Phantom of the Opera making an appearance on this show. At this point in time, it's less of a musical and more of an emotional support animal for Michael. And
Correct.
for the romantics out there, we're covering all things Chappel Ronan and Saskatchewan Love, which sounds like either a Lifetime movie or a true crime documentary. We'll find out later on in the episode. And then it's the return of the king. No, not Tolkien. It is King of the Hill. It is smashing records, proving once and for all that America just wants to watch propane salesmen mumble inspirational wisdom in Texas. And then finally, we end the culture war of the century. Jeans versus jeans. Sydney Sweeney has a new jean ad, and science is demanding a rebuttal. And then finally, we will wrap up, as we always do on the show, with questions from you, the audience, the listeners, and the viewers from coast to coast to coast here in Canada. Mohammed from Thompson and Cheryl from Amherst has questions for both Michael and I. And yes, both questions will absolutely be designed to ruin Michael's mind because he had to be asked them beforehand. As always, Michael, how have you been?
I don't like that you just put me on blast like that. So I'm not well, apparently.
I'm not saying anything, but yes, you are not well. But how has life been in the last month for you?
Honestly, great. Switched jobs and I am so loving it. It's so great. I don't have to drive all over. I can like sit at home and like do 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 on my computer. We love, we live.
We
How are
love, we
you?
live. I am tired. I am exhausted. It is the height of my work time right now. We're back into the swing of things. We're hitting the road here in a few days, and I am just tired, tired, tired. But we have a lot of things to cover over the next hour, and we want to start with one of the biggest news stories, unfortunately, that has made the entertainment industry a buzz. Taylor Swift has announced her 12th original studio album, The Life of a Showgirl, opening pre orders, but keeping many other details to be revealed 2 days later during an appearance on the podcast New Heights, hosted by her boyfriend, Kansas City Chiefs tight end. Travis Kelsey, if I can get his name right, but I'm not going to, and his brother, retired Philadelphia Eagles center Jason Kelsey. About 20 minutes into the episode on August 13th, Jason tweeted that more than 1 million people had tuned in to the live stream on which Taylor announced that the album would be released on October 3rd and revealed its artwork and track list. Now, Michael, you have
Not October 3rd.
what?
That's Mean Girls Day.
I don't get that reference. What does that mean?
The movie Mean Girls? Lindsay
What does it?
Lohan.
I know, but what does October 3rd have to do with that movie?
So in the movie, Aaron Samuels asks her what day it is, and she goes, "It's October 3rd." And he says, "Cool."
I thought it was April 3rd.
No, no. October 3rd.
I
On
totally know
October
what
3rd, he
movie.
asked me what day it was.
Well, there you go. So you have probably seen all the TikToks, all the hip hops, and all the things that people do on social media these days. The 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 amount of information that was given in that hour-long podcast, which then transformed into about 15 million different views on what does she actually mean? What do the objects behind her mean? Is she going to be the halftime performer at the Super Bowl? Because there was a bowl and there was the Super Bowl trophy. Is, and I say this respectfully, knowing that I'm going to get haters from the people who like Taylor Swift, is Taylor Swift the queen of being able to like grab attention when she wants to talk?
I'm gonna be honest, I've not seen any of this. I'm not shocking. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. I'm not a Swiftie. I think she's a great songwriter. She's not really for me. I don't necessarily love her as a performer. I think she's a great songwriter, though, and I'll 100% give her that. I think that what you said has merit. I think that she is really good, and her fans play into this too. They all think that they're like Mariska Hargitay on Law and Order SVU, trying to put the clues together. Like, I have so many friends that are Taylor Swift fans that this week were like trying to figure out the names of the songs in the order based on clues. And they're like, that tree is green and Taylor Swift likes this color. I'm like, I need you all to take a breath. It's too much for me.
So this is the first album, and I could be wrong here. So this I think this is the first album where, and the only reason I am saying this is because it has been making the social media rounds on Facebook, and I have friends who are Swifties. This is the first album that she's actually in a committed relationship with and releasing it at the same time. Usually it's either right after a boyfriend breaks up or usually after something happens in her life. This is the first time where she is announcing it with her partner in crime, Travis Kelce. So could this be a change of what we're used to in the Taylor universe, or do you think she knows her audience too well where she's going to keep it to the poppy, catchy songs of Shake It Off and insert other Taylor Swift song that I can't remember right now because I don't know her music that well?
Bad Blood.
Sure. Is that a song or is that an
Oh
album?
my God. How do I know more Taylor Swift than you? You're the country guy.
She left country. That's why I don't listen to her.
Then what's her name, her country songs, girl? Picture to Burn. That's a great one. I
Sure.
like the original cut of it.
The one that she now owns because her masters are now back in her
No,
whole
the one where she used a slur.
what?
Oh, she, in one of the lyrics, it was go and tell your friend that I'm obsessive and crazy. That's fine. I'll tell mine that you're gay. And then she re-released the song and said something different so that it was not like just being like, I'm going to call you gay as a bad thing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, it's my like favorite Taylor Swift fact because people are like, but it's, and I go, okay, she still did it. I love it. It works.
I did not know that. It makes
Cancel
me,
her. Cancel her.
I guess so. I guess we have to cancel Taylor Swift. But you know, the gays, we're very hypocritical of the world that we live in. So
This
we
episode is
can't do anything.
designed to get us canceled, I fear.
What?
I fear this episode is designed to get us canceled.
That's why it's called One Crazy Conspiracy After the Other. We're just going to get canceled for everything that we say or don't do in this episode. But I do want to continue on for Taylor
Yes.
Swift for a second because she and I'll give her credit. She is one of the most popular singers in all of the world. She
Yes, she
sold
is.
out a massive tour across the globe. I was going to say around the globe, but I was like, what about those people who were like, ooh, Flat Earth Society, got to make sure they're included in this episode. So, got to make sure we're in the conspiracy episode of the That's Entertainment era. So, she is probably going to go back on tour with this new brand new album.
Oh, yeah.
Or is she just going to release it and walk away? What would be the better route for her?
Tour.
Really? Right
That's where you
off
make
the
your
Era
money.
tour?
That's where you make your money.
Would you say that even with Taylor Swift? Because Taylor Swift fans will go out and buy her albums, vinyl, CDs, left, right, and center for this, right? Because
Touring.
she usually releases albums with like, here's a photo book of why this song is important to me. And don't get me wrong, that's the marketing genius that she is. But you think touring is probably the best bet for her right now?
100%. Artists don't make money on that stuff. They make money on touring. Because, like, okay, you capture from somebody like maybe they buy, the average fan is going to buy one CD max or one digital download. Yes, you're going to get the people buying all four records to make the Taylor Swift album clock. Yes, you're going to get people buying the special edition stuff. You're not going to get all the fans. However, you're going to get a lot more people that maybe even aren't going to buy the album. They're just streaming things because you can stream and we're in the age of streaming, who are going to spend $150, $200 to go see her show or spend $400, $500 to be close to see her show. And those ticket prices are not cheap.
And
So
from what I understand, there's speculation on the old interweb, because that's where all the truth lies in today's world.
naturally,
That hold on 2 seconds. The robin's just barking at something right now. You
I
can't hear
can't.
it. I can hear it though, so it's gonna pick up on my side. Okay. The interweb is full of dark, seedy conspiracy theories, which we're going to be talking about 2 seconds here with Garth Brooks, another great country music star that went into pop and ended his career very quickly.
He's killing
But
people.
I can't wait to hear this. He's unaliving people, as we call it in today's world. But I've got to ask, because the global sphere in Vegas is like the big new thing that a lot of artists are trying to get into. Is that where Taylor could show up?
Oh yeah, probably. I mean, if it's the big hot trendy out place, that's where they're gonna stick her. She's gonna do another world tour, hot off the Eras tour. Travis Kelce's gonna join her at a bunch of the places. I don't know. We're about to be in the Taylor Swift media storm for the next year and a half.
Are you excited?
No.
Okay, then let's talk about something that you are excited about, and something that is making the rounds. And you literally said, if we don't talk about this, I'm going to unalive somebody. So let's talk about Garth Brooks.
I fear that's not what came out of my mouth, and if it was, you can't prove otherwise.
That's the conspiracy theory. That's Michael Nichols Pate just retracting all of his statements because he gets called out on it. But what is the conspiracy theory that is surrounding my favorite country music star, the country music star that has literally brought me up, that has literally been the soundtrack of my university days and my college days? What is this conspiracy theory that I'm going to laugh my butt off and just laugh in your face that you think this is the cool thing to talk about on this show?
I hate to tell you this, but Garth Brooks is in fact a serial killer. The number of so people I have people on the internet have too much time on their hands and they are way too bored. So, sorry, I had to bring the microphone in because I needed to make sure every single word of that was heard. Um, Somebody on the internet was like, Garth Brooks. I wonder if he's a serial killer. And so they went into Google and they have found out that every single tour stop he has ever made on his stop on any tour since the conception of Garth Brooks as a musician, every single stop he has ever made, someone in that town has gone missing or there's been an unsolved homicide in every single tour stop the night he is there. Then there was an interview he did where they were like, "Oh my God, don't you want to be in a movie?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want to be the villain." They're like, "No, Garth, you can't be the villain. You're so lovable." And he said, "No, I really want to kill somebody." Hello? Garth, we're all watching. And he has his little alter ego, Chris Gaines, who's like a serial killer. I'm telling you, Garth Brooks is a serial killer. In all realness, it does line up, but I think it would be probably whoever the oldest roadie is on the tour. That's who I would look at because that's who's probably doing it if there's any merit to this. But it's just so whimsical to say that Garth Brooks is allegedly a serial killer to the point where he has turned comments off on all of his social media because where are the bodies, Garth? People were people were asking, where are the bodies, Garth? And he then turned his comments off. Not address, not say, LOL, you guys are so funny. What a conspiracy theory, huh? Like he could have played into it. Instead he shut it off. Guilty. Guilty.
So, as this is a publicly broadcasted show now, I will put in a disclaimer that the views and the information reflected by Michael Nichols do not reflect the comments and the opinions of the Cross Border Network. If you want to sue Mike Nichols, please do, but please do not sue
I
the
said allegedly.
after the last line.
We'll get allegedly. Listen, we're having a laugh. Garth Brooks is taking it a little too
Are
seriously.
we having a laugh?
Yeah, we're
Are
all
we
having a
having a
laugh.
laugh?
Who
It,
actually, do we
because
really think, do we?
you literally could do that for any artist who goes on tour, because with the amount of crime that happens, we could literally sit here and go, there's an alleged plot that Mariah Carey goes out and steals jewelry in every stop that she does on her tours, because there's a jewelry thief theft in every single community that she stops in. You can say, hey, Taylor Swift, there is a dark, seedy, eyes wide shut orgy that happens in every community that
True.
happens.
True. True. You know what? I'll get behind that one. Listen, also the Mariah Carey one, you got me. You got me, girl. She does steal jewels. Have you seen her? She's covered in them. Just, it's people on the internet who had way too much time on their hands, found this little link, and now they're having a laugh.
But at what point in time does the laugh become like hard things to take? Because okay, he turned off his comments on YouTube or his social media, which is understandable because I'm assuming that's not all he hears about. He probably hears that, oh, you left your wife for Trisha Yearwood, all that fun stuff. So at what point in
He left
time
his
does,
wife for Trisha Yearwood.
how do you not know this?
Girl, I don't have time for Mr. Brooks. Now I do. Now I'm on to him. Allegedly.
Maybe it was Trisha Yearwood. Maybe it was allegedly Trisha Yearwood or the
It
ex-wife to
is
frame
Independence
Garth
Day.
Brooks.
God, you are unlocking this conspiracy. You're in it. I sold. I sold you on this one. There's something affront on Mr. Brooks's tour. I do think it's probably like Herman the Roadie, who's been there since like 1967, who's the most loyal one because that's access. Mama, that's
Herm
backstage.
Hermie the Roadie. You
Herman the
had
Roadie.
you had that name locked and loaded, ready to go in the very last minute. Like, have you been thinking about this? Are you the one who started this? Is this where the conspiracy actually started? Mike Nichols of
I
That's
wish.
Entertainment with No Not Them started the Garth Brooks conspiracy. Garth, come
I
on the show.
wish. I wish. Oh my God, Garth, come on the show. We'll have an investigation.
We
We'll
had we
have an
had 98 degrees.
interrogation.
We had 98 degrees, so we're like big time now.
I'm ready. I'm ready, Garth. I'm on to you. I'm actually on to Herman. So Herman is a name that Jonathan and I, my husband, call every single random person on the street. They're all Herman. It's Herman and like Ethel. I don't know why, but they fit.
Oh, this episode's already unhinged, and the last episode I thought was already unhinged. So let's talk about the thing that we often always talk about on the show, but we do it in passing. But you wanted to talk about this because if we don't talk about this, I have killed your soul, according to you on social
That I'll
media.
admit.
And I will be upfront. I didn't do any research on this topic because you literally said I have comments. So, what is it about the Phantom of the Opera and what is going on? Because from the last time you and I chatted about the Phantom of the Opera, it was leaving or it had left Broadway, but now it's back.
Yeah, so it left Broadway, and then there is this company that does a lot of immersive theater in New York City. They did the Macbeth where you put the mask on and you were silent and you followed the different stories for hours. They got together and they said, you know what would be fun? An immersive Phantom of the Opera. So I've been following this. The marketing they've been doing in New York leading up to it was insanity. Like it was incredibly done. Anybody who is looking at marketing for like events, that is how you do it. Like especially a special event kind of thing like that. It's though they handle it so well with like a scavenger hunt around New York. They would put like they would put flyers around with information about like a mask cart. And if you go to the mask cart at 3 p.m. on this day, it's an immersion of Phantom. And so they just paper flyered New York, Manhattan, and people word of mouth found out about these different like pop-up shop events all leading up to the Phantom of the Opera returning to New York off Broadway in this immersive production, which my friend Nicole and I were like, we have to see it. We love an immersive theater, and I've never done something to this level of immersion. Like, it was so cool. It was one of those, we spent a bit of money, I'm not gonna lie. The tickets right now are a little steep, super worth it. I mean, Hugh Panaro, who is the longest running Phantom of the Opera, he was one of the Phantoms, so it's 6 time slots. And then they take a break and then they do the same 6 time, or they do 6 time slots again. So they're doing it that way. So you follow this Phantom and this Christine and this do the story of the Phantom of the Opera. And like he sang Music of the Night and caressed my face while he sang it briefly. Like they were handing out, the Phantom writes letters throughout the show and they were handing out the letters to the audience members. They were talking to us. We were in scenes and that we had people coming up to my friend Nicole and I and being like, "Oh, are you Opera House patrons? What do you think of the talent?" This like engaging with it was so cool. And after the initial shock of I have been thrust into this world and people are touching me and like I'm gotta leave my comfort zone quickly, you got over it rapidly. The first two rooms are designed to overstimulate you so that that is the most like physical touching movement, etc. you're going to experience the whole time. But it did such a good job of like hitting you with the bar so high, and then when it dropped you, it didn't feel so overwhelming that people were near you or interacting. It was so cool. It made me rethink how I saw that whole show. It made me really rethink acting. And like when the actors are like this close to your face and you can see the physical tears dropping from their eyes and hitting the floor, it was a masterclass. I would recommend everyone that's going to New York, if you can and you have the ability to spend the money on it, it was worth it. There is a dress code, black, white, and silver, and you do have to wear a mask, and it is like cocktail formal wear. I would say lean more towards cocktail. You do walk up some stairs and do a bit of walking, and like long dresses were just dragging on the steps. But these 15 time slot, like, because it's the full 2 hour show, but each 15 time slot's like a new ship embarking. We never once ran into another group the whole time. I felt like I was in the whole building with just our group. It was so cool. 10 out of 10. We'll be doing again. I already have tickets to go with my parents and my husband.
Are more and more theater productions becoming more immersive? Because we see with the Sunset Boulevard, we see with Avita on the West End, or yeah, the West End, yeah,
Yes. Yes.
West End in London. Now we see this. Are uh, has the theater caught up with the reality that you have to change it up? You can't just sit in you can't just sit in a theater anymore and you watch a show. You actually have to bring the audience along with you, or has this always, it's just becoming a little bit more mainstream?
It's kind of been not around for like ever, because I would say with Sleep No More, this company Punch Drunk, they did I think one other before Sleep No More, but it was kind of just a one-offy thing. But as the teens and the younger folks got who were really into this Sleep No More, who were really into this concept, started going to college, graduating, getting money, starting to produce, starting to act, starting to create, they were like, hey, we want to do this immersion with other things. We want to take shows and set them like in the Kit Kat Club where you walk in and you have an hour of exploration beforehand while you're in the bar in the physical club, like you are a patron. Like things to that level. You started to see that pop up. And then it's been really big in the UK. So now it's starting to leave the UK, who've been the head of the game for a while. They have this immersive Guys and Dolls that is just to die for, I'm hearing. But it's a cool way to do it. It's a lot of times just retheming the way a theater looks. But something like this with the Phantom, this is game changer. Following a story through, like, and there was walking, there was movements. Like, don't wear heels if you're a lady or
But you
man.
can't, but you can't do that for the whole, you can't do that for every show, right?
No, and
Because
you can't. Some
be,
shows just don't work that way.
and okay, I'm going to be a little controversial on the show,
Yeah.
but I'm going to do controversial conspiracy, like it's the Sia episode of the show. Um, with stairs, does that hinder the ability for people in wheelchairs, people of disabilities to see these shows then?
No, because there is an elevator, there is
Okay.
ADA. ADA accessibility, and they have specifically on their website, if you do want or require some ADA assistance, they will have a personal conversation with you about how to make that work, how, like, what the capabilities are, what the adaptations are to make this accessible to you.
So it
Um,
is inclusive.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's completely colorblind cast. There's six Phantoms, six Christines, three Rowells, and it is just you would think, okay, this same person's playing the Phantom. Everyone needs to look just like him so everyone gets the same experience. Oh no. They have like a 20-year-old Phantom, and then Hugh Panaro is an older seasoned gentleman. Like they have wide range of ages, races, ethnicities. Like brilliant. It's every single person, everyone I've heard, every clip I've seen, every like little morsel. Everyone's like, it's incredible. I got to see Nick Walker, who I saw in Spamalot last year. He is so talented, and he was so close to me, and he was singing and stroking my face, and I went, I love this.
For those who are listening to this episode, just want to remind everyone that yes, we are men who like other men. If that noise did not give you that indication at all.
You know, my friend Nicole and I yes anded ourselves into co-starring roles. Like, you're not going to talk to me and not expect me to play back. Oh no, baby, I am invested. I'm about to go sing for you if you need me.
So, last question before we turn to the next
Yeah.
subject is what would be a good show that could capitalize on this type of connection to the audience?
I would love to see this done with like Little Shop of Horrors, I think. Like
Like
being
actually go to the optometrist office, go or the dentist office, go to the theater, or go to the like the pet store,
yeah.
the flower shop.
Or like honestly, this is out of pocket. I think following the story of My Fair Lady, like set, like get like a warehouse, just build this set in this warehouse, like build the streets of London, and just follow her through the journey. Like the big thing that with Phantom is the reimagined Phantom is they did rewrite, were able to work with the script because they had Andrew Lloyd Webber involved. It's not always possible with some musicals, but I do think My Fair Lady, if you could get the right project, I mean, this is also would have to be a professional project, getting a giant warehouse and recreating the streets of London to be hyper realistic. That you need to have funding I do not currently possess at a community theater level. So that's why I'm letting my idea go into the universe in hopes that it happens.
But
But it would be so cool.
we get
I
Garth
know.
Brooks to admit that he is the serial killer. We get the reward money. We then put the immersive My Fair Lady on in office.
We then get Garth Brooks out of prison and we do Jekyll and Hyde and cast him as Jekyll and Hyde. I
Like
I call a hit, mama.
there are memes going on right now of us thinking about what we can do here. We can get
I want
like
to be a Mimi.
just think about it. Now I want to turn to our next story, and it is heading down to the Pink Pony Club. A pop culture moment has Saskatchewan, Canada in the spotlight. And now Chappel Rowan has promised to perform in the province. Quote, I've never been there, but I promise I will perform there one day, end quote, Rowan said in an interview with Zane Lowe of Apple Music earlier this month of August. It's about time Saskatchewan gets recognized globally, she added while on tour in Vienna, Austria. In her latest single, The Subway, the American singer songwriter curses in post breakup frustration that she's had enough and is moving to Saskatchewan. The song premiered at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 earlier in August. Since the song came out, the Prairie Province has seen a wave of attention because that is literally the only attention the province gets. Tourism
Rude.
Saskatchewan highlighted the song on their social media feed. If Chappell Rowan is moving to Tourism Saskatchewan, so are we, said the caption on a video made in partnership with Destination Canada. Now, it is not often that American singer will mention Saskatchewan in a song. It's not very often that Americans will even talk about Canada, but this has caused a flurry of national pride of Saskatchewan being named and name checked in a song. Does it often become a symptomatic issue where if a singer, a famous singer like Chappell Rowan, does mention something, or if Taylor Swift said something about Greenwich, New York, would that be international headlines?
Um, Probably. I'm gonna not because people will be like, wait, what's Greenwich, New York? It's Greenwich. We're the Greenwich. No, it's Greenwich. No, I trust me, it's Greenwich. Um,
Hey, the
that
fact that
that
she
would
said Saskatchewan, not Saskatchewan, is perfect, and all the Saskatchewanians that I know are so happy.
oh, I should ask my friends from there. They probably are.
Friends is putting it loosely there. It'd be friend.
No.
You have more. Oh, you have two. Okay, congratulations.
I'm diversifying.
Congratulations. All two friends from Saskatchewan.
Okay. I'm
But
sorry. My brain
is
just short-circuited.
is this a good marketing ploy for
Yes.
organizations to capitalize on this type of things, especially when it's been mentioned, and I see the
Yes.
social media that like this has been coming along for some time, and there was rumors that she was going to mention Saskatchewan because she had mentioned it like 3 years ago on some podcast that she did about something, and I wasn't really paying attention because I really had no time for the conversation. But is it good to capitalize on this type of marketing when someone mentions your name?
Yes, 100% yes. Always do it. If someone bigger than you or a bigger name than you even decides to deign your presence or your name's presence in their life in a setting like that, 1,000% capitalize on it.
That would be
Especially if it's like a tourism thing and your town needs tourism, like that's the way to do it.
I would agree wholeheartedly on that. But I want to talk about something else, and it's about, and we're just doing rapid fires on these last three before we turn to the questions. And it is the wait is officially over. And yep, the King of the Hill revival has officially streamed all 10 episodes on, it was going to say Hulu, but it's no longer Hulu because they've officially merged the two, Hulu and Disney Plus. In Canada, it is Disney Plus. In America, it is Hulu, but it's now officially Disney Plus because they have merged the two streaming giants together. This marks the second reboot of the series, though this would be more considered a sequel of the series because it picks up 10 years after the last episode of season 13 ended 10 years ago. What has been known about the revival leading up to the official debut is that Hank and Peggy have returned home to a much different Arlen, Texas. Bobby Hill is also much older and is now a professional chef running a German Japanese fusion restaurant. Now, I will be blunt, and I wanted to talk about this because I think King of the Hill was probably one of the funniest shows that got canceled due to the Family Guy Simpson sort of rivalry, and King of the Hill got squeezed out. I loved King of the Hill when it first was on. I think it was funny. I think Mike who is the creator and the writer of the show, is hilarious. I think the voice actors who do this are great. And I was very cautious about what this revival slash reboot was going to be like because there have been so many disappointments of shows coming back and just not living up to the hype that it once was. Take into consideration Frasier. So Frasier went off the air, and then they brought it back with the new setting, much older sort of uh, actors playing the roles that we grew up with, Niles and Daphne not being in it, and it just fizzled out. Two seasons and it ended. But this season 14 of King of the Hill, which just came out, I literally binge watched all 10 episodes in one night, and I rarely do that. I think it's probably setting itself up for another like 10 more seasons. And I say that knowing that after I say that, there's going to be like one more season and that will be it because it'll be like, okay, we did what we wanted to do and then we walked away. But if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend that you get a Disney Plus subscription or just buy the 7 days and watch all 10 episodes in one sitting and just cancel your subscription right afterwards and you get it for free. But do it because it is so much better, so much clever. It is clever. it is more clever than the original series because it literally talks about what's going on in today's society. And maybe if I watched it, the old King of the Hill at my age when it was originally on, maybe I would have said the exact same thing. But I think this King of the Hill reboot, revamp, whatever you want to call it, has paved a way for what revivals should be like. And maybe it is just Mike Judge, who is the showrunner, the writer, doing a great job. But if you haven't watched it, watch it because it is hilarious. It is funny. And they talk about the people who had passed away between the 13th and 14th season. They talked about the person who got killed from their neighbor, who played John Redcorn, who died from their neighbor coming over to the house and shooting them. And they pay homage to him. So I highly recommend, if you haven't watched this, go watch it. And I'm not trying to be sincere because this is the conspiracy episode, but let's talk about conspiracies for 2 seconds because I feel like I've gone down a rabbit hole of too sincerity, and I just don't like that journey for me right now.
I've never seen that show before, but I think I like Bobby Hill.
Bobby Hill's awesome. Bobby
I
Hill's
think
awesome.
I've seen clips of that one. That's my purse. I don't know you.
That's my
I say
purse.
that all
I
the
don't know.
time. I love it. I think I like that one. I it's on my list. Eventually I will get around to it.
And
I
and the thing
will.
is, you don't even have to watch the original show to get it. You can literally tune into just the new season and go, oh, because that's why I say it's not really a revival, it's not really a reboot. It's a continuation, but it's a story that you can literally just watch and go, okay, this is what it is. Because they harken back to things, but you don't need to understand it to get what the jokes are. Because it's so politically savvy in its jokes that it actually makes you think, okay, this is funny.
Vibes.
Vibes is right. So there's our second last story. And our very last story is one that I know Michael has a lot of opinions on. And,
You shush your mouth.
and I'm excited for this. So I'm going to walk away while he talks about how this is the greatest story since sliced bread and that everything is awesome. American Eagle's new fall campaign starring Sydney Sweeney is under fire. Not the jeans, but for the tagline. Sydney Sweeney has great genes. The phrase used in bold on billboards in Times Square and Las Vegas was designed as a denim pun. But online, many saw something else. Great genes, Genes, a phrase historically used to celebrate whiteness, thinness, and attractiveness. This makes the campaign seem to be a tone deaf marketing move. And it's not like they were being subtle about it. One
No.
campaign advertisement literally has Sweeney painting over the words great genes to become great jeans, as in Jeans. Michael, we have all seen the controversy that has surrounded this. We have seen the ad. I did not think the ad was good to begin with. I think it literally didn't make me want to say, I want to go buy jeans from American Eagle. What did you think about the controversy and the ad in general?
It's like a very nuanced conversation. I think American Eagle really thought that they ate with a recreation ad because it was very homage. It paid homage. It was very reminiscent of that famous Brooke Shields ad. And like I just like I get what they were doing with it. I get where they were going. Sydney Sweeney is Sydney Sweeney. Like
She's the
we
it
have
girl right now, right?
yeah, I have eyes. Like she it just but also where in your campaign, nobody looked at that and thought, "Hey, this feels like this could be a Nazi dog whistle." No one in the room ever once looked at that and said, "Hey, maybe we should think for a second." They all like, yeah, let's do it. Rah, rah,
But
rah.
can I ask you something from a
Yeah,
marketing ploy? We're talking about it, aren't we?
yeah, yeah. Which also that. It also
Like,
was one of the highest selling after the ad came out, 300 million in-store sales and 65 million online sales or something. It was something like that, like insane. But it was 365 million total dollars directly because of that ad. Like, I, it did what it needed to do. I think it like every step of the way, this has been, there's just people are upset and
Yeah.
angry. And
No,
there's a lot
understandable.
in New York that, not in New York, Jesus. There's a lot, yes, in New York, but there's a lot in the country that is, people are scared.
Yeah, no, and when I wanted to talk about the story, it wasn't about the story in general and the issue around it. It was more about the marketing, right? Because people who wanted
Yeah.
to cancel this, you're still talking about it. You're still bringing it up on, like, we're literally bringing it up on a show that is in Canada. Like American Eagle is in Canada, and people will probably go and say, "Oh, it's American Eagles. It's a good ad," or "I heard about American Eagles, so let's go see what they have." So you talk about the economic spin-off.
Yeah.
So there is this hyperbole. No, that's not the word. There is a moment when you have to realize that anytime someone's talking about you, even if it's in the bad, is good.
Yep.
So you either have to just get on board and say, because as of recording, Sydney Sweeney did a post because she has an upcoming movie coming out, and in it, she was wearing American Eagle jeans in it, and everyone's like dissecting the fact that, oh, she's going in on the controversy and she's excited about what she's getting from it. So it's a double-edged sword that we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
It is a marketing ploy, and I think sometimes the worst marketing ploys can sometimes be the best marketing ploy.
Oh,
And
$100.
maybe someone did say this may be a bad idea, but there's probably someone who said yes, but a bad idea can be turned into a good idea.
No, I like yeah. There's been a lot of ads that have come out that have been causing some issues. We're all just angry.
Yeah, Canadians just are like, hey, we got an American ad. We're excited.
But yeah, yeah, and you're listen, that's one to have. Everybody loves her.
Madam Web didn't like her.
Who's Madam Web?
The
Dakota
movie
Johnson?
the movie Madam Web, she was in it and it did horribly. So did not everyone likes her. Not
Is that
everyone.
her fault though, or is that Madam Web's fault?
Wow. I feel attacked. I feel attacked. But we have to head to our very last segment because we're at the almost at the 45-minute mark and we need to start getting the questions in because it is now. Let's head to the mailbag time where we get questions from you, our viewers, our listeners, and our subscribers from across Canada and sometimes even around the world. And we answer them as best as we can with not knowing what the questions are. Well, I know what the questions are, and Mike usually doesn't until about 2 minutes before we hit the record button. He goes, I need to know so I don't look like a idiot. So with that, I'm going to head to the mailbag and open up our first one. Insert graphic and design, but I can't because I don't know how to do that
Please
yet.
don't do that. Please don't do that. We're gonna say no thank you to that. Retire that, please.
Nope. It's officially the conspiracy, and you can't retire a conspiracy. We're going to head to our first question. And Mike, it is for you, and it is from Mohammed from Thompson, Manitoba. And he wants to know what's the worst, sorry, dear Mike, what's the worst case of stunt casting on Broadway that went sideways? And when stunt casting does go badly, what actually happens? Do the critics just politely cough into their playbills, or does the whole show collapse faster than Cats the movie from 2019?
Wow, why are we digging at cats? So the worst one, at least the first thing that popped into my brain was when they put Cameron Dallas into the Mean Girls musical. It was this whole idea of like we're gonna throw him in for
So
like sing.
before you start, I just need to make sure we go back a second here. We're not editing this part out. But what is stunt casting? Tell people who might
Oh,
not know what stunt casting is, so that way we can get people up to speed. Because they might go, "What do you mean? Who is this Cameron? Isn't that person just a random person that shows up?"
yes.
What is stunt casting? Go ahead.
So, stunt casting is a term used in the theatrical community when you bring in a celebrity, regardless of talent level, to your show in hopes that it will sell better, in hopes that it'll bring in a new crowd that will then fall in love with theater. It can be really effective. You can get some really incredible stunt casts like Darren Criss and maybe Happy Endings. George Clooney, he just did a show. The name
Good night. Good
escapes me.
luck.
Yes, good night, good luck, and that's an incredible stunt cast, or it can be used really poorly and drop ticket sales if it doesn't sell tickets well enough. You see it with Chicago a lot. Basically every 2 months, a new celebrity pops in, usually a reality star, but it's a way to test people out for Broadway that way, the celebrities, because then they can do other shows. So stunt casting really is a marketing ploy as we're talking marketing. This week should be marketing, not conspiracy. Jeez Louise.
It's the
Um,
marketing and conspiracy show.
yeah, so it can be effective. So Cameron Dallas, this little TikTok kid, they brought him into the Mean Girls musical for like there was a 6 week plan. They were going to extend him later. He did not sell well. It was so bad. There are clips of him singing on YouTube. It is wrong. He's not acting. He is not singing a single note in tune, bless his heart. Like, he is just out to lunch. And then suddenly you watched Renee Rapp is returning to Mean Girls. Oh, look it, we got Sabrina Carpenter. And then COVID happened, so we didn't get the two of them together. But like they fully, the producers went into panic mode and were like, we have to bring back Renee Rapp because she was so insanely popular and this Cameron kid is killing us. And then we have to get another celebrity to stunt cast alongside her to try and rescue what this kid has done because it immediate tickets tank. A lot of times with theater, people don't always buy tickets ahead of time. They buy them usually a week or two before they go, especially in New York where you don't know if a new stunt cast is coming in and is going to be good. So a lot of times folks they will make or break a show. That's why reviews are also important with theater, because if you get good reviews, you're going to get more sales.
Have you ever gone into a show thinking that a stunt casting was going to be great, and then you walked out and going, "What did I just watch?"
God, I feel like,
So
oh,
I'm going to rephrase the question a little bit. Have you ever gone into a show and there has been a stunt casting going, "Oh, I'm not sure if it's going to be as good as I thought it was going to be," and then it walked out and go, "Wow, that was amazing. I didn't expect them to have that sort of range that they would be able to perform that title character or that character on the show that I just watched."
um, Jessica Chastain in A Doll's House
Yeah.
was I love her as an actress, but when you see a movie actress say they're going to do a small limited run on Broadway, you go, okay, this is a passion project. They're trying to sell tickets. This can be maybe really good, but it might not be. I was so transfixed. And like to top it all off, there was no set, there was no costumes, there was no props. There was like 5 chairs, a gentleman in a wheelchair, and a rotating table, and that's it. Because in that place, she has to slam a door. They rose the what is it? The stage door. They rose the like trucker stage door. She walked onto the streets of New York. They lowered that stage door and she kept walking. And then that was the end of the show. It was so profound what they did in her performance. I was floored. Was not expecting that.
Or was that Garth Brooks?
No, I will not let you take that away from Jessica Chastain because you have a hatred for her.
I don't know what you're talking about, but maybe it was Garth Brooks because there was a lot of murder that day in New York and he might have been there at the time. Who knows? You gotta put two and two together here because if you don't, what are we really not missing here?
That's rude.
And our second question is coming from Cheryl in Amherst, Nova Scotia. And she's not messing around with this question because she wants us to pick three and only three. She asks, "Dear Chris and Michael, rank your top three Oscar winning movies of all time." Now, no ties, no excuses. And if either of you say crash, I'm pulling my subscription. So I've had the pleasure of thinking about this for a little bit longer than Michael. So I'm going to
You're
go ahead.
so awful. This is one that you should say, Michael, I'm going to throw you a curveball and give this to you early. No,
Okay,
you held on to it to cancel me.
Okay, you know what? You go then. Go first. Go first. You can pick any three because I know our threes will not line up at all.
Three billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri, Whiplash, and Dreamgirls.
Really?
Yep.
Whiplash. I would never have, I
Whiplash.
wouldn't have put that on your list, but here we are. Okay. So my three, in no particular order, not from one to three, three to one, whatever. It's in no particular order. One flew over the cuckoo's nest. Hannibal,
Ooh. Okay.
as good as it gets.
I don't know her.
Helen Hunt, Jack Nicholson. Oh,
Oh, I know of her. I have not seen yet.
it's the they won best picture. They won best actor and actress when Titanic won best picture.
Oh, so
Yeah.
James Cameron robbed them. Got it. Heard.
James Cameron didn't win the director for that though.
Oh, poor
Yeah.
James.
Poor James, poor James. Well, that's it. Hopefully that eases some of your questions there, Cheryl, about not being able to have any ties. And Mohammed, thank you so much from Thompson for sending in those questions. If you want to send in another question, head us up on our social media pages at Cross Border Network or email us directly at crossborderphotography@gmail.com or by sending us it on our website at crossborderinterviews.ca. And you can hit the contact us and you can send us those email questions directly or head over to our show notes and click on the contact us or submit your question page today. Michael, it is always a pleasure to talk about how you think Garth Brooks is a serial killer. It is always a
Allegedly.
allegedly, that is right. It is always a pleasure to sit down and talk to you about the entertainment industry as only two people who aren't the people you're thinking of can. From the bottom of my heart and from the bottom of the conspiracy theory well that you have gone down, and I hope you can come back for next episode. Always a pleasure, and we'll see you next month.
Likewise.